What's up YouTube, this is Galactic God, and I'm here with Flatline Duelist, and he's going to go ahead and give you guys the deck profile on the Infernity deck that was used in the most recent Duel video series.
Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and the profile. It's going to be 40 cards in the deck. I run 3 copies of Infernity Archfiend. This is pretty much the best card in the deck of what it does. If you have no cards in your hand, when you draw into it, you can reveal it and special summon it. Then when it's special summoned while you have no cards in your hand, you can search your deck for any Infernity card and add it to your hand. The next card that I run 3 copies of Infernity Necromancer. Necromancer is similar to Summoner Monk. When it's normal summoned, it changes to defense mode. While I have no cards in my hand, I can target an Infernity monster besides Necromancer in my graveyard and special summon it, so I can grab the Archfiend and then use Archfiend's effect to start searching for things. Play 2 copies of Stygian Street Patrol. This card's really good, especially if I somehow get an Archfiend added to my hand through like Compulsory or Archfiend Heiress or something. I can banish it, then special summon that Archfiend, and then continue my synchro plays with it. Play 2 copies of, or synchro, XYZ plays, 2 copies of Summoner Monk. Summoner Monk is in here over the tour guide because playing with Monk allows me to kind of mediate my hand size. I believe it's a -5 from my hand and deck, as a tour guide would just be a -2. Plus, I can, like I said, I want to have no cards in my hand, so getting rid of dead spells is actually really good. 1 copy of Archfiend Heiress. This card pretty much helps win games to go get the Palabyrinth, which is the best card from this theme, I guess you want to call it. When she's destroyed because of battle or sent to the graveyard for a card effect, I add any Archfiend card except for herself from my deck. So I can actually add Infernity Archfiend from my deck too, which is actually really cool. 1 copy of Armageddon Knight and 1 copy of Grepher. A lot of people like playing 2 Grepher, but I don't always have the Dark in my hand to ditch for Grepher's effect, so the Armageddon Knight's there just to help flood the graveyard a little bit. Moving on now to spells. Triple MST. With Heavy gone, it's kind of stable now to play 3 MST, either 2 mained, 1-sided, or just main deck all 3. 3 copies of Transmodify. This is the reason why I decided to build the deck again. If you have Necromancer, you can Necromancer bring out an Archfiend, and then you can Transmodify the Necromancer into another Archfiend, and then just keep going on to your plays. 2 instant fusions. There's actually a little combo that you can pull off with this, with the Palabyrinth, which I'll show you guys at the end of the video. Brings out a Fiend, and then the Fiend dies at the end phase, which is whatever. The Archfiend Palabyrinth, which is pretty much, like I said, my favorite card that ever came out of the archetype. All your Fiend monsters gain 500 attack, so Archfiends become 2300 beaters, which is kind of terrifying. But its other effect, where you can target Fiend monsters, banish another Fiend, and then special that out, is actually really good, which I'll show you guys the combo with this afterwards. 1 Book of Moon, it's kind of needed to stop Exceed plays and Synchro plays. Dark Hole, Foolish Burial. Launcher's so good, it's been limited to 1 for I think 2-3 years now. Just because you can use the effect, bring back Necromancer and Archfiend, and then start searching for things. And you can also help thin your deck, or thin your hand anyway. Let's say I have this and I have an Archfiend in hand, I can activate it, send the Archfiend, and then use its effect to bring back the Archfiend and just keep my play going. And then 1 copy of Rhoda, just because I play 2 warriors. Plus it's Summoner Monk food, so it's actually really cool. The trap lineup is triple Barrier. Infernity Barrier is the searchable Solemn Judgment for the archetype. As long as I have no cards in my hand and I have a face-up attack position Infernity monster, I can just negate monster, spell, or trap effects. So it's actually a really good card. 3 copies of Infernity Break. When Barrier's dead and I still need to have an out to something, I can banish the Barrier while I have no cards in my hand and then destroy a card on the field. So it's actually really good. The deck is defensive. It does play 2 copies of Deprison, just because Stardust is a thing. 2 copies of Mirror Force, because the deck, like I said, is defensive a lot. And then the 1-ofs that we play, 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, 1 Compulsory, and 1 Warning. These are kind of staple now in the format. No Torrential, just because I actually have a field presence. Or no Fiendish Chain, because I need to have my back rows cleared. All right, moving on now to the extra deck. I run 2 fusions. I run 1 Barox, which actually is the combo card of the deck, which I'll explain when I get to that combo, and 1 Darkfire Dragon, because he's a level 4 and he's a dark, which is actually really important. I run 2 copies of Diamond Direwolf. I was playing 1 copy, but then realizing what you can actually do with Diamond Direwolf, it's pretty stupid with the rest of the XYZs. You can make it pop a problematic card and then can keep continuing your play. The 2 copies of Lavalval Chain, because sending Archfiend to the graveyard is really good. Most of the rank 4s in this deck will have detached material because you can't hold your Archfiends hostage underneath your XYZs. 1 copy of Abyss Dweller. It's in here for the Mermail matchup and even the Dragon Ruler matchup. Again, it allows me to detach materials from it so I can actually keep combos going with it. 1 Daigusto Emeral allows me to cycle back my XYZs that have been spent. So Diamond Direwolf is a thing. Even though drawing a card is kind of bad, but recycling the XYZs is always good. 1 copy of Evilswarm Ouroboros. Trishula is back in OCG, but we get Ouroboros. Best way really to describe the feeling that I have. But this is really good because I can detach materials off of it. Again, because I don't want to hold Archfiends hostage. But kind of controlling the board with an Ouroboros is actually really good. 1 Gagaga Cowboy, because Cowboy is like the best rank 4 in my opinion right now, because you can be aggressive with it or you can burn for game. 1 copy of Gemnite Pearl, because Ophion's still a thing. 2600 is quite a bit. I don't like using this card when I have Archfiends underneath of it because they're kind of dead and they just sit there. 1 Maestroke, because Maestroke is like the best starter deck card they've made besides Utopia. 1 number 66 Master Key Beetle. This card's really stupid because I can detach a material, target a Archfiend or Necromancer, so now my barriers are going to be live regardless, and it just sits there. Plus 25 is kind of terrifying. 1 copy of number 50 Blackship of Corn. Again, problematic cards. You can just detach a material, get rid of it. And then the last Exceed that I play is 1 Leviair. I do banish quite a bit in this deck. And I can make it. I don't make it very often, but it's always there. It's always good to have something to fall back on instead of having 500 XYZ rank 4s anyway. So like I said, that's the extra deck. And let me go ahead and get into that combo for you. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to have Palabyrinth active on the board, or you can just activate it, and having the Infernity Archfiend. This is why I like Infernity Archfiend, is because of what he can do with it. You're going to play Instant Fusion, which is going to net you the Barox. Now, so you're going to use Palabyrinth's effect to target the Infernity Archfiend. So you have to banish another Fiend type. This is the only Fiend type fusion that you can bring out with Instant Fusion. So you activate the Palabyrinth, you banish this, which is going to net you another Archfiend, which is probably going to net you something really stupid like a Infernity Barrier, Infernity Break, a Launcher, or even a Necromancer. So you can just keep going off with this, and what I really like about it is you can, next turn, let's say nothing happens, you can do the effect, target this guy, banish, and then, oh, look at that, another Archfiend. So you can just keep continuing your play. This is probably the best indirect support that Archfiend has, that Infernities have received since their debut in Shining Darkness.
Alright guys, and there you have it. That was the Infernity deck that was used in the most recent duel video series. Remember to let us know what you think of it down in the comment section below. And I guess that's it for now. This is Galactic God, out.